Welcome again to Google Sheets, apps, scripts, and forms. Today we are going to continue with what we started the last week about our macros. We are going now to start to understand what are the scripts that are running behind the macros. So if you remember in the last video, you can find the link on the top here, that we had given how to record a macro, how to use the macro, and we had said that simply the macro is a group of functions that you can record and then you can use, so it will do a group of functions again to save you time. So it's a group of steps that will be done as a function together. When you click on it, if you remember, we said that you can get it from here, extensions, macros. We can repeat again that I will add a new sheet, if you remember that, and the macro we had recorded, which is called a square sheet, was going to turn to our sheet to square sheet and make borders for them. So square sheet, I clicked on it. Now it is turning into a sheet, and you can find that the whole sheet is selected because it is grayed in color. If you click in one cell, you find that only this cell is selected, and which is having this blue border. Okay, now if you remember, while recording the macro in the last session, it was telling you that you can edit the script behind the macro. Today we are going to see what is the script behind the macro and where to find it and how to edit it and why we may need to edit it. So if you go here to extensions again, you will find a very colorful icon here called apps script. That's a very big world we are going to open today, and we are going to continue with it. So apps script, simply it will open you a new tab in your browser, and in this tab you will find here the apps script. The apps script is a separate app from the sheets. It's a scripting app that allows you to write some functions that will be running on your sheet. Okay, it can run also on the forms, on the docs, on the slides, whatever Google product you are going to use, it's going to run on it. So we are going to demystify what we mean by apps script and what is a script today, and then we are going to delve deeper and deeper with the coming sessions. So that's the working area of apps script. Like we know that this one is the working area of the Google Sheets, so this one is the working area of the apps script. But this apps script we open is linked to our sheet for now. So here you can find a file on this side called macros.js. This file was generated by Google when you record your macros. If you don't make it, you will find this file is empty. If you remember, we have one function called square sheet. That's our function, or that's our macro. It's called square sheet. And you have here a set of lines, or a set of code, or a set of commands, or a set of program lines, whatever you see. But don't panic that this one is coding like you are making some codes, or you are making some program coding and so on. It's a simplified form of it. For information, it's based on JavaScript. So if you have a prior information of JavaScript, you'll find it very easy for you. Otherwise, we will touch it in an easy way. So if you have no programming experience at all, you will be able to follow up with us very easily. Okay. So step by step, we will demystify this working area while we are working. You can find here that this is the script. Script means step, or a set of commands that are going to be executed one by one automatically without your interference. That's what is behind the script. So Google writes its functions or its macros as scripts in the apps script, and this script takes a name. So you can find here the name is square sheet, and that's a function, and it's having a set of commands. These are the set of commands that Google offered you in the last time, in the sheets offered you in the last time, that you can edit this script. So instead of editing, let's rewrite one of our own. So we can write one for our own directly out of the box here, and we will see how to import it to the sheets working area. Okay, so now function. Now you start with the word function. To write these lines, you need to start with the word function. You can find here, that's also one of the helps, of the great helps of Google Sheets or the apps scripts, that like you were writing in the functions, if you write something and it resonates to it that it is one of its library, so it will pop up to you. So I just click, it's a function. Okay, then after the function, I need to give it a name. That's why it's giving you this. Don't be panic with these small red lines here, that it's a problem. No, it's a problem because you are still writing. This line is not completed. So that's why it's giving you an error, or still telling you it's an error. We will make a very simple function, select function. So I will say select I will call it select one for now, for example. So that's the name of the script or the name of the macro or whatever you like to call it, or the name of the function. You need to give it a name. After the name, you put some open empty parenthesis. It's empty for now, but future wise we will tell what we need to put inside them. If we need in some functions to put something inside them, it's called parameters. So, and then you open some curly brackets, enter. That's where you write your lines of the macro, and then you put semicolon at the end to close your micro, or to close your function, or to close your script, whatever you like to call it. So that's very simple. So inside the function, what shall I write? So what shall I edit and what shall I write? Okay, let me go back to our sheet, and we need to understand a few concepts. If you see, now we had selected this cell. I can select two cells together. You can find that they are grayed because they are selected, or I can select only one cell. If we stop at one cell, you can find its name here, or its location here. This cell is called K4. K is the name of the column, and 4 is the name of the row. So that's great. But if I go now to sheet 4 again, for example, you will find that if I stop here, that's G4. If I come here, it's having another K4. So what is the difference between this K4 and the K4 in sheet 6? The difference is the name of the sheet, or the active sheet. So there are two things that you define the sheet. Either it is the name of the sheet, which is sheet 6, sheet 4, data types, sheet 3, whatever we were working with before, or the active sheets. This one is K4 in an active sheet. That's I'm working on now, if you need to make it like this. Or it is the K4 in sheet 4. So you define it by name and so on top. If I have a multiple of spreadsheets and everyone includes sheet 4 and so on, then the definition is the remaining definition is the copy of the data, which is the name of the spreadsheet itself. So each one of these is called a sheet. And all the sheets together in this file, which is copy of data L51, that one is called a spreadsheet. So a spreadsheet includes sheets, and the name of the spreadsheet is telling me about the spreadsheet. So it's either I use it by the name, or I use it as this one is the open, or the one which I'm going to run the script on it. So this one is the active sheet, and these are the names of the sheets. Okay. So when you go here to record a micro, the first thing you need to get some area of a sheet to access upon. So you need to hold it in your hand, or to have some buffer, or to have some container. So you can hold it in your hand, and then you can do some actions upon it. So I need to define a variable which is like a container that will contain my where I'm working. So first thing I need, as we said, we need to select the spreadsheet. So I need to call it spreadsheet, as it's called up here. So that's a spreadsheet. Okay, and this one is equal to, I need to put here spreadsheet app in the beginning, which is tells the app script, because the app script can work on many other of the Google products, or the Google apps like the forms and so on. It tells Google that this one I'm using the spreadsheet app, and the functions just built for the spreadsheet app, because it's having many libraries, but these functions I'm going to use is specific for the spreadsheet app. So I'm calling the spreadsheet app to call the functions of the spreadsheet app, and then I put here dot get active. Okay, get active. You can find that get active, this one is a function, so I need to put some open parentheses like my function. But that one is Google function. Another great thing that when you write a function, you can find that there's a help popping up to you. It tells you that this one returns the currently active spreadsheet. So this means if you are within a spreadsheet, this one where you will use this macro or this function, then it gets you the active spreadsheet. So now, because it will get you the active one. Return means get you the active, so you hold it in your hand. So the active spreadsheet itself, which one you are using, is totally stored in this word, which is a spreadsheet. And then I need to select a sheet. So variable, I will define my sheet. Those are exactly the same steps that Google had already created for you automatically while it was recording the macro, but these ones are the ones that I am generating with you, so you can understand the concept. So variable sheet, if you can see here that, as I told you, don't be afraid of the red marks while you are writing, because this statement is not complete, so it's giving me a red mark here that there's something wrong here because I didn't complete the previous statement. So variable, that's variable is a container. Now I need out of the spreadsheet, okay, because I have here container, which is my active spreadsheet that include all the sheets. I need to get the active sheet. So I need dot get active sheet. I will select it from here, from the list of from the list. So I get the active sheet, and I put open parentheses also because this one is a function from Google or from the apps script. So if you see when I close it with a semicolon and complete writing, you can see that the red mark here had already disappeared. That's great. So now I hold in my hand the active sheet. So what I need to do with the active sheet, for example, I will go to the active sheet, okay, and then dot get range. Okay, so you can see that get range is a function also. So if you open it, you can see all the options of this function. You can put here the name. You can see here 1/4. This means that there are 4 ways of using this function, which is get range. So either you put the row number and the column number, or you can put a set, an area. Okay, so you have, or you can use the A1 notation, which is a string that we are going to use now. For example, I need to get a range. For example, I will select the cell which is H7. So I will put here H, for example, but as a string, I need to put them between quotation marks, and then I put H7. Okay, and then dot activate. Activate means to select this cell. So activate, if you put also the open or the empty parenthesis, it will open you the help on this activate. This means that it sets the active range. So this one is activate, and I put semicolon here. So like this, I had generated already a function or a macro or a script called select one. So that's my own. Okay, so up till now we had only seen this first few lines, which is activate and so on. So that's how it's working. So now I need to understand. This means that the selected in the active sheet, the H7 cell will be the selected one. If I go back here, this one is sheet 6, that's my active sheet, and I will be here, for example, at C2. You will find this one is marked because it's having the blue lines. If I go here to the record.macro, after I had recorded my function or script, I need to save it. Okay, now the project is saved. You can run it from here. So you can say run, but it will run this one square sheet, which is the previous one. I don't want to run the square sheet. If you open here, you can find that your new function, that's one, select one, and then I will click run. So this function will run for me. It tells me that it's started and completed. If I return back to my sheet, you can find here that the selection is not on B or C as we were here before. It came to H7 as I had selected. So it's H7, the selected cells, and that's here from the macro. Remaining one point in this video, which is very important. Now I had generated a function, but this is not a macro. If you remember, the macros were automatically assigned. If I come to extensions, macros, and I find here my square sheet macro, but I don't find my this, which is the select one. Like this, you import a macro, so you can import from here a macro. You can find that select one is coming for you here, which is in the file called macros.gs. Okay, and you can from here you can select this function. Either you edit its script, it will take you to the apps script to edit it, or you can add it as a function. And this one function is already added, so I close. And if you now come to extensions, macros, you can find that you have two, the select one and the square sheet, your new macro that you had written with your own hands. Now if I go to any other cell, and then I return back to extensions and macros, and I run to select one, okay, it's running, and you can see that my selection has already moved to H7. So, but why do I need to select a cell? Is that all the macros can do? No, of course, but I can, inside this cell, I can do a hell of things. I can read what is inside it. I can write inside it. I can change its format and so on, and many things from the power of the app script. That's what we are going to see in the coming lectures. Subscribe, join the channel, like our videos, spread the informations. You can find a wealth of informations also and practical applications in our tutorials on Udemy. You can find the links in the description of this video. See you in coming videos from Jumpstart, Google Sheets, Apps Script, and Forms. See you with simple ways.